Okay, welcome to Saturday night live food. Um, I'm having a little fun here, as you can see, and I thought I'd share how to make basically kale chips. Um, I sort of was a little bit of the inspiration behind kale chips years ago. I'll tell you a quick little story. My friend Blessing, Penny Horowitz, founder of Alive and Radiant Foods, way back when. She doesn't do that anymore. She sold the company. But in 2002, she was in my kitchen, and I said to her, you know what, Blessing, if you can figure out how to make a raw vegan nacho cheese Dorito chip, you will be a huge success. And so she went to work on it and actually uncovered a recipe by, I think, Karen Calabrese, and basically worked on that recipe and finally came back to me and said, taste this. And I was like, oh my God, you've done it. And so that was her nacho cheesy kale chip that she created way back in the early 2000s. And she basically launched the whole industry with that. She came to market with that, and then a lot of other businesses and companies followed suit, and now it's a whole category out there in the health food sector. People love kale chips, and there's all different twists and turns on the recipes, different flavors. My favorite's still the cheesy type, the nacho cheesy, because I had a weakness for nacho cheese Dorito chips, and so I wanted to eat as many. And I used to actually, when Blessing was doing the business, I would buy her nacho cheese kale chips by the case. I used to buy like 15 cases from her directly at a time, store them up, and basically be my lunch every day. Anyway, so getting back to this, I'm about to head out to a camping trip. Every year it's a tradition, typically for me, to go camping up on the Trinity Lake and Yuba River in Northern California. And I'll be up there for several weeks. And so I like to make my own snacks and crackers and whatever to bring with me on my camping. And so I'm at work at it. I'm at work on it right now, as you can see. And so I thought I'd share how to make one of these secret sauces, that you can use to make any sort of, dehydrate, basically. Kale chips. I've got mushrooms here. I'm making potato chips. And it's really easy to do, actually, if you've got a good blender like the NutriBullet, and you've got a little bit of experience. The key to this thing is just to keep playing around and have fun with it and do a lot of trial and error. But I'll share you my little secrets and tips a little bit on how I like it. This one's going to be a Brazil nut base. So I've got, I don't know, probably about a cup of Brazil nuts there or so. I'll put those in there. And then we've got bell pepper. And in fact, the nacho cheesy kale chip that Blessing made was a red bell pepper cashew base. So this is going to be a red bell pepper Brazil nut base. Close. Cashews are a little sweeter. Brazil nuts are a little, in my opinion, cheesier. And I want the cheese. So we're going to do the red bell peppers and the Brazil nuts. So that's one whole big red bell pepper. So we've got about a cup and a half, whatever. Brazil nuts, a whole big red bell pepper. Then, a clove of garlic. All right. So here's a clove of garlic. Boom, clove of garlic. Then it's about figuring out the flavor profile now. So we're after something cheesy and something savory, obviously. But the key to making something taste amazing really is to hit all the different flavor notes on the tongue. So you've got like salty, sweet, bitter, sour, pungent, umami. Those are the big ones. So in this case, we're after really sort of, you want to focus in on one of those, 6 taste notes. In this case, we're focusing in on kind of a umami, sort of salty area. So the umami salty or umami salty, maybe teeny sour. But you want to hit on all of them. So it's kind of like 1 or 2 of the flavor areas on the tongue you want to highlight, and then the others just want to be kind of background notes. And that's how you kind of make something really full and satisfying. And you don't want to overpower any of those, but you want to focus on a couple and kind of highlight them. So in this case, and it also, I kind of also like the oily fat sensation. So the actual fat or oil is also kind of a tongue sensation. In this case, we've got the fat covered too, obviously, with the Brazil nuts. Okay, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, not much, probably about, it's gonna come out to maybe like, a tablespoon or 2. That's about it. Then I'm going to put in some coconut aminos. So these are actually a little sweet. So this is going to be that kind of a little bit of a sweet note background. And I'm just going to, kind of judge it, about like that. Maybe a little bit more. And then I'm going to do, this is a real umami. So this is actually, it's not tamari, it's actually, I've got in here namo shoyu, which is kind of an unpasteurized soy. It's a soy wheat combo, unpasteurized. They call it namo shoyu. So I'll put this is a real umami kind of flavor note. About the same amount probably as the coconut aminos. So I've got maybe about an inch or so of those two. Obviously we've got the Brazil nuts, but it's up about an inch. That's fine. Then I've got some applewood smoked Celtic sea salt. So this gives it a little smoky flavor. And I'm going to, put in a fair amount of salt. I mean, like I said, it's that kind of umami salt that we're after. So probably about that much salt, roughly. Okay, now we're after the cheese, and the cheese flavor note we're going to pull from nutritional yeast. So, got some nutritional yeast here. I'm going to do now this is bigger than a tablespoon. I don't even know what this thing is. It's probably like a mega giant tablespoon, so I'm going to do probably 3 heaping, tablespoons of this. And this is going to give it that real sort of cheesy flavor. Then for kicks and color is always important. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of turmeric root powder, about that much. Healthy for you too, anti-inflammatory, of course. And I'm going to do maybe about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Yeah, about that much. All right. That covers all the bases. I think we've got it. And then I'm going to add some filtered water, probably up to about this level. So we got filtered water up to about here. I think we're good to go. Let me blend it up. Okay, so I'm back. Came out perfect. You can kind of see the the consistency and the color. It's great. It's got a real cheesy flavor note. I just tasted it, and you want it about this sort of consistency like this. And then what you do once you have this like this, you just chop up vegetables. Kale, in this case I've got some cremini, whatever you call them, like baby portobello mushrooms, chopped up. I had sliced potatoes before, and I have a whole bunch of other veggies. And so these are, I'm just dehydrating them, and they'll all just be amazing tasting crackers and little veggie snacks for the next month. All right. Enjoy. I hope you have fun experimenting on your own.